yeah, as a father, what's the role of a father in parenting? What's the role of a father, yeah, in child upbringing?
Omulimu gwa taata mukulu nnyo. Taata ekisooka awa guidance eri family. Ng'oggyeko ekyangu okutegeera nti aba alina okugula emmere, okuleeta ebyokulya, naye ateeka okuba nga baana bamulabirako, they look up to him, nga bwe batunula baagala kubeera nga ye. Abaana bo bwe baba nga babeera mu maka go nga tebaagala kubeera nga ggwe, omanya nti waliwo obuzibu obw'amaanyi. Kitegeeza nti toli hero waabwe. You don't inspire them. Olina okuba inspiringa n'okuba encouraginga, okubateekamu obuvumu, okubajjukiza nti buli kintu kyonna kyonna kisoboka okutuukibwako. Ate kakati wano bw'obeera mu Europe, tulina n'ebirala bingi nnyo bye tukola. Tufumba, tukyusa nnappi, tukola emirimu gy'awaka, naye ng'ebyo byo obikola bukozi, naye ekisingako kirungi nnyo nnyo n'abaana bo okulaba nti ova awaka n'ogenda n'okola. N'otonyumirwa kutuula waka kulya kamwanyi. Simanyi oba eyo mulamu mukayita kamwanyi, wano tukiyita doll, okulya state money. Ozitegedde ssente ezo ze bagabira obwereere. Bazita income support. Bw'obeera awaka ng'olya buli income support, kitegeeza nti n'abaana bo tebagenda kuva waka kugenda kukola. Kiba kirungi nnyo taata n'oba nga gwe osooka okuzuukuka. Abaana ne bamanya nti omuntu azuukuka ne yeeteekateeka n'afuluma. Ne bw'oba tolina mulimu, zuukuka ogenda otambulekokko mu paaka. Abaana bamanye nti taata akeera ku makya n'azuukuka. Ate teriiyo mulimu mubi. N'emirimu gye mwasomera bwe giba gibuze, muzuukuke mugende mukole delivery, mugende mukole cleaning. Bwe muba mubikola kiseera buseera, naye abaana bamanye nti ozuukuka ku makya n'ogenda n'okola. Ebyokugaggawala ebyo byo obirekera Katonda. Ekikulu kiri nti ozuukuka ku makya n'ogenda n'okola, eyo discipline n'ogiteeka mu baana bo. Ate abaana n'obayigiriza okutya authority, okurespectinga abantu abakulu. Kuba bwe baba nga gwe tebakutya, nga tebatya maama waabwe, tebagenda kutya bakama baabwe babakozesa. Era bwe bali batya bakama baabwe babakozesa, olaba obuzibu batasasudde ebbiiru. Akati omulimu gwa taata okuinspiringa abaana kikulu nnyo nnyo, n'okubeera example ekyokulabirako nti omuntu akeera ku makya n'akola. Ne bw'oba togenze kukola naye n'okubaako emirimu gy'okola awaka, geeti yamenyese, fensi yamenyese, ogifikisinze, emmotoka ogikoze saaviisi, n'okola emirimu egyo gyonna gyonna egyetaaga amaanyi. Kyekyo nnyabo.
Tweyanzegge Mwami Mukiibi, and mbadde njagala nakubuuza nti nno njawulo ki ebeeramu mu kubeera taata back home in Uganda n'okubeera taata wano mu diaspora. Naye you actually clarified it, n'oyawula n'ogamba nti nate no mu Europe tukola bwe tuti, n'obyongerezaako. So yes, kirungi nnyo nti otuwadde gundi zombi, otuwadde thoughts zombi oba n'otuwa picture zombi in terms of Africa na wano. So bannaffe mwenna abatulaba abali eyo, Mwami Mukiibi just told us that the role of a father in parenting or child upbringing is basically to inspire, a kid and let them know or see you as their role model. Be the type of father that wakes up every morning and goes out there to strive. Go and work hard so that your kids can actually learn from you. Yeah, kids are always kids, but they see a lot, you know. Until no, kids actually do not notice, but they're very observant and they always look up to us as their parents. So when you do something, they will learn from you. If you want them to be something in future, then you need to show them how to be that something in future. He also requested you all never to look down on certain jobs. If you studied to be something, or let's say if you have a certain career, or if you are into a different profession, no wonder you have failed to get a job in that particular one. He recommended that you can go and do cleaning, or you can go and do food deliveries, because there's no job that should be looked down upon. Job is a job and work is work. As long as you're being paid, then that's all that matters. So Banang out there, remember that always. Yes, please.
Just to add on a little bit.
Mm.
Abazungu baga manke si manke do. Most of the times abana byokola byebakola okusinga byoyogera. Manke si manke do. Oyinza okundi mingi nnyo nti mulina okukola emirimu awaka, mulina okukola kino, mulina okuzuukuka ku makya. Gwe bw'oba tozuukuka, you're wasting time. Ekyo kye mbadde njagala okumalizaako.
Okay. And Kwetro, if I could just, translate it, do as I say, not as I do. No, do as I do, not as I say. Yeah, as in kolanga when kola singa when ngamba, right? Do as I do, not as I say. Yes, because you might say something that is actually contrary to what you're doing. So let's always try as much as possible to do that we want people to learn from us. Let's learn to leave a legacy behind, and let's always try to inspire others so that we all know that we are heading towards something. Yes, Kakati, as we move on, let's just dive in briefly on Facebook to Labeo Watuinayo. Any comments? Our viewers out there on Facebook, I can see you guys tagging so many of your friends, but you're not sending in your questions or comments. Yeah, what do you think about the show? Let us know where you're watching us from, or let us know what your thoughts are on the ongoing topic. Remember, the topic we are talking about is balancing our child upbringing methods with the government welfare service standards. What do you think about that? Send us your thoughts, send us your views or questions so that my two lovely guests today can answer them. But before you do that, let's go back to Madame Rizek. And the question that I have for you is that when is it okay for us to let our kids be independent? When do you think is the right time for us to actually let our kids be independent?
I would say all the time.
All the time. Okay.
Because it's all the time, but at the same, and then at the same time, not all the time. But for me, honestly, I believe it's all the time because it starts very early. Because, like for example, you can see the will of a 1.5-year-old child, for example. They have that will. Even a 1-year-old child, they have the way they want to eat. If they've started like eating other foods. Yeah. It could be even up to 9 months, whereby they want to touch their own fork or their own spoon. Yeah. Yeah. Starting early, even like holding the toothbrush and those things, starting early, as early as possible. Because when they get 2 years, they will start choosing the clothes. But of course, as parents, we should have like a certain limit whereby there shouldn't be so many options. Because when there are so many options, of course, it gets out of control. But I believe it's very important to let our children have the opportunity to explore. And then at the same time, as long as it does not put them in danger, because personally, I believe I was a very protective parent. Yeah. And that's something I look back and I'm like, but there is nothing I can do about that. But allowing our children to be able to explore things. Yeah. As long as it's not harmful.
So would you say that I am a bad parent because I'm the type that does not want to let my son, for example, go to school by himself? like the other kids do. You know, I'm the type that loves to drop him and pick him, you know, from school, even though we live just about 10 minutes walk from his school. I feel like he's still too young. He's only 8 years old. I'm like, when you get to about 13, I'll let you do that. But for now, I always love, you know, taking him and bringing him back. So what would you say about that?
I wouldn't say you're a bad parent, but what I
Okay.
would say is that you know better, because maybe
Yeah.
that is the only opportunity you have with your son in the morning.
Okay.
Maybe you have like a hectic program daily, or maybe you're
Yeah.
a person who comes home very late.
Yeah.
Maybe you live in a neighborhood where you don't feel safe, or maybe you live in a neighborhood where your child does not have like other children going to school with. So it is many factors, and I don't believe that that makes you a bad parent. But you,
Okay.
I believe you have better reasons for that. But
Actually,
allowing that,
actually, the reason I do not let my son do that is because I am a last born. You know, I'm a last born of 9 children, and I was pampered. You know, I was taken to school, even at university. My dad would drive me, and they would pick me up. So I'm like, you know, he's only 8 years old. Why should I let him go to school on his own? You know, I still want to do each and everything for him while I still can. But of course, if I'm in a situation where I won't be able to do that, then of course I will have no choice. But for now, while I still can, I still embrace it. So maybe what I can tell the parents out there, when please do it for as long as you can, because time runs so fast, and before you know it, the kid will be big and they'll tell you, Mommy, I don't want you to take me to school anymore. So
for me, I'm just wondering is what kind of neighbor where you live, for example,
yeah.
because I can just be living. I'm just thinking about the conversations the children make on the road with the
Yes.
other children.
Yes.
What they did last that, because there is a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
But
That
they
is,
don't have. Yeah, there is a lot of learning too there, whereby they can interact differently than in a classroom. But I
yeah.
believe that as a parent, you're doing your best, so I'll not judge you.
Yes, thank you very much. Another reason why, I'll give you a scenario. My son turned eight on Boxing Day, 26th of December. Yeah. So before we went to school to celebrate his birthday, he told me, Mommy, I have a request. Please, when you go to school, this time don't sing happy birthday, baby Jason. Then I said, okay, why? So you mean Mommy cannot call you baby anymore? He said, no, Mommy, if we're just the two of us, it's okay. You can call me baby. Or if we're at home, you know, and my friends are with me at home, you can. But at school, please don't. So I was like, okay. Then he told me, I asked him why. He said, because whenever I come to school and say, baby, come, my friends ask me, why does your mommy still call you baby? And they laugh at me. I was like, okay, baby, I will not call you baby during your school birthday party, you know. You know, during that time I sang, happy birthday, dear Jason, happy birthday. Then he came and gave me a big hug after the party. Nangamba, Mommy, thank you very much. You actually did very well. You didn't call me baby at school. I was like, I promised I wouldn't. So I believe that we as parents can try to do what we feel, you know, is best for us at the moment. But I'm sure there's a stage when the kids will reach and tell you that, you know what, you have to stop this. I'm sure my son will tell me sometime that he's not comfortable me taking him to school anymore because he wants to go with his friends, and I will respect that. Yeah.
Is it your needs or your child's needs there?
Here. Apparently he likes it because we asked him at school with the teacher. We had a parents teacher meeting, and his dad sometimes lets him go by himself, and then with me I always pick him up. Then they asked him, how do you feel about that? Do you like it more that, you know, daddy lets you? He said, I like it both ways, because sometimes I get to go by myself, sometimes I get to be picked up. So he said, it's okay. Yeah. But I'm sure when he's tired of it, he'll say, stop taking me to school. And I will respect it. So parents out there, always remember to respect your kids' wishes. If they are into something, try to always give them their wish. Yeah. And then also on that same note, remember always to encourage them and always be there for them. Into different sports as well, because we as parents sometimes tend to lack in that area. We do not support our kids when it comes to co-curricular activities like music, dance, drama, or football, whatever sport it could be. Yes. See, having said that, I would like to allow Mwami Muchibi to tell us briefly about his books. Mwami Muchibi is a writer. He has books, and I'm told he also has Engero. What are Engero? Rizik in English? I don't know. Engero, I think, are folk stories.
Folk tales.
Folk tales. Good. Yes. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. Ndi muwandiisi wa bitabo naye ebitabo ebimu sinaba kubipublishinga mpandiika mpola mpola nakapublishinga ekitabo kimu kiri ku Amazon. Kivunula Oluganda, Oluswayiri n'Oluzungu. It's a phrase book. Mainly kyandibadde very good for abantu abagenda okutravelinga mu East Africa. Otuse boogera Oluganda, boogera Oluswayiri, ojjayo bujja kitabo ekyo. Kijja ku Kindle ne kijja ne gundi hardback ekikalu ekitabo ekiri physical kya £3 n'ekyo ku Kindle kiri ku £10 kiri ku Amazon. Ku Amazon oteekamu Mutesi Vincent Mukibi banga kizze. Engero ze tukola Luganda folk tales ziri ku YouTube. Zisomerwa Jani Mukibi yazisoma naye nga nze nziwandiika. Engero zino okugeza nga Njabala, twagenda okulaba nga Njabala bajjajjaffe bamutusomesa, bamutubuuliranga bubuulizi naye nga Banjabala bano tebaabawanga mannya. Akati ffe kye tukoze this time round ba characters tubawadde amannya ne tugamba nti mwalimu Mukibi n'awasa mukazi we Nakyejwe ne bazaala abaana baabwe Nambatya ne gundi. Tugamba ba characters tubawadde amannya naye nga ngero nungi nnyo mujja kuba muziraba. Luganda folk tales zinyuma nnyo okulaba ate ziyigiriza. Byebyo nnyabo.
Okay, byebyo ebyobutabo n'engero nange mubiwulidde byonna from Mwami Mukibi. Mwami Mukibi nno mulabira awo mwami muwombeefu naye munene era muzito bulala. Alina n'ebitabo mumuwulidde. Ebitabo bye biri ku Amazon. For those of you that actually use Amazon, please go there and let's support our very own. Take our Moko Amazon, Vincent Mukibi, and you will be getting his books. N'engero nazo alina channel ku YouTube. Mateeka yeeyo nayo engero nga bwe mumuwulidde. Nze nja kubeera faaniwo njagenangayo nga ndaba, and I'm sure n'akatabo nja kukagula despite kusoma Luganda bulungi nnyo naye nja kumanaginga in a way or the other, right? Yes. Kakati Mwami Mukibi ng'amaze okwogera bw'atyo twagala n'okuwa ku our lady, the only lady. You know, today I'm actually very excited because we are sandwiching the gentleman. Sometimes we're hosting a show. We're we are two ladies against Omami or most of Chuk sandwiching. So I'm going to allow the lady. Naye please tell us briefly about your private work that you do with parents out there in Norway.
Yeah. Thank you for the privilege. Despite working with the welfare services here, actually I don't do work directly with the welfare services.
Yeah.
I do work with the children and the family department, dealing with cases that are a little bit too difficult for the welfare services or for the child protection services to deal with. Then those cases that they need more investigations. Yeah, and maybe need more recommendations. That is the cases we deal with in our department.
Yes.
And then we come back with recommendations and more investigations to them, to the protection services, so that they can be able to make a decision based on that. But despite that, that is my permanent job. And then I do my own company whereby I do different things.
Yeah.
Among them is bridge building. It could be whereby there is a conflict of understanding between a parents or a family with the system, then I mediate and help them be on the same level of understanding, so that they can be able to help, so that they can be able to get the best out of the situation. And that can also be in court. I do also represent in court, whereby it's in cases of whereby a person is afraid of going alone, or maybe reading letters, or even like as a translator in court, both in English, Swahili, and Luganda. And I do parental guidance, also like a side job. And my main aim is working with these cases. Although I do them in my permanent job, but I also like doing them because I like emphasizing or helping parents when culture is an issue. Because many parents are very afraid when it comes to their cases reaching the welfare services. And then they're also afraid whereby some things will be regarded as so weird. And then I use my knowledge and my experience to help the parents, and also guide them with using a different language that is easier for them to understand than they would have got from maybe a Norwegian, for example. I use like the native language.
Okay.
Shortly, that is that.
Okay, wow, you actually do quite a lot of things. People out there, people in Norway, please, you've heard it from Madame Rizik. She does quite a lot, and it would be she's more than willing to help you people out there. So please reach out to her, and she will be there to actually help you all. Yeah, we are still on Euroforum Uganda with me, your host, Samantha Elf, all the way here in Finland. And our topic of discussion was, or is still, balancing our child upbringing methods with the government child welfare service standards. Yeah. As we wrap up, I would like us to talk about one last thing, which is that do you guys concur with the fact that urban children are more likely to experience unacceptable discipline methods? What is your take on that? If we are to start with Mami Muchibi, for example, do you believe that urban children are more likely to experience unacceptable discipline methods?
Yeah, ndowooza ekyo kituufu nnyo. Kubanga mu bibuga naddala mu inner cities nga bwe nagambye mubeeramu cultures nnyingi, mubeeramu abantu from different walks of life. Kati abaana bayiga empisa nnyingi nnyo, kulya nga basitamye, kulya nga batambula. So senga muba mubadde mu byalo, buli family beemanyi ginnaayo. Kati naawe nga tonnabakola mpisa mbi, okola ki? Olowooza emirundi ebiri, kubanga omuntu akusanga mu street aba akumanyi. Naye mu bibuga abantu kiba kizibu nnyo okusanga abantu b'omanyi. Lumu nali nva e Uganda nga ndi ku nnyonyi nga ntudde n'omuzungu. Muzungu yaŋŋamba nti ekintu kye yeewuunya e Uganda, yalina driver we, nga buli we batuuka abaako omuntu bw'akubira jambo, effectively ng'abantu bonna mu kibuga abamanyi. Naye n'aŋŋamba nti mu London ekyo kizibu nnyo okukisanga. Oyinza n'okutambula omwezi mulamba nga tosanze muntu gw'omanyi mu kibuga. Kakati awo kiba kyangu nnyo omuntu okukola empisa embi kuba tajja kusanga amumanyi. Nze okugeza ngenda ne mbeera ku YouTube okwo, ne mbeera ku social media, ne ndaba abantu abeekola ebintu, oba abawala abambula engoye balaba batadde ku YouTube, batadde ku Facebook, n'obuuza nti bano tebalina bazadde baabwe, tebalina bantu baabwe baswalira, tebaswalako. Lwaki bakola ebintu bino? Lwaki bakola ebintu bino nga balina abantu be baswalira? Nga mu kibuga tewaliwo okuswala, naye ng'ate mu kyalo obaako n'omuntu gw'oswalira. Kale ndowooza abantu bakola empisa embi nnyingi nnyo mu bibuga okusinga mu byalo. Weebale nnyo nnyabo, weebalire ddala.
Okay, okay. So that's very good. Mwami Muchibi agrees with us or with me on that. He agrees that urban children, yeah, are more likely to experience unacceptable discipline methods. How about Rizek? What do you think of that?
I do agree with you and Mr. Mukiwi.
Okay.
Because it's very easy to disappear in the mass when you're in a big, in an urban area than when you're in a small area. And then you are more exposed to when you live in a small area. And then it's about like, the people know you, they know your parent. Because for me, the way I will behave when I'm in Kampala is totally different with the way I will behave when I'm in Iganga.
Yeah.
And the way I will dress when I'm in Kampala is totally different the way I'll dress when I'm in Iganga. So yeah, because it's easier to be recognized. Who are you and who are you representing? Yeah.
Okay. Yes. There you heard it, guys, from the horse's mouth. Now we're going to wrap up our show today. But before we do that, I just want to bring out the main points or the main issues that we have spoken about today in regards to child upbringing and welfare. We have talked about boosting our children's self-esteem. That is very, very important whenever you are parenting. And then compliment your kids, you know, whenever they do something good. Be affectionate, hug them, say thank you, and offer them little, you know, little rewards. That is really a big thing. And then make time for your kids. Be there for your children whenever they need you. Do not be parents that neglect your kids and never know what your kids are actually doing or where they are. Set limits and be consistent with your discipline. Be a good role model, like Mami Muchibi said earlier on. He said that as a father, you should always ensure that you give your children the spirit of role modeling. And then lastly, we said that we should always consider making communication a priority, because without communication, then there's nothing that you can actually achieve or you cannot actually move forward. We have been Eurofarm Uganda, and I have been your host, Samantha Elf from Finland. And before we wrap this up, I would like to give my guests the pleasure to say their winding remarks. We could start with the lady still. Ladies first. So, Madam Rizik, please go ahead. And
I thought Mami Mukibi had his hand up, but maybe it was.
Did he? I thought it was just mine. Okay, Mami Mukibi, go ahead.
Teacher.
Go ahead. Let's start with
No.
Mami Mukibi. Yeah.
Ndabyo tugambye nga tewali waayogera.
Okay.
Nendowooza nti njogere naye sifaayo. Nsanyuse nnyo okubeera wano era munsonyiwe. Omanyize Oluganda lunyanguyira nnyo, Oluzungu lunkalubirira okwogera. Lumu nalinda ba Bobi Wine nga bamu interviewinga nga waliwo abantu aboogera abaleekaana ng'ayogera nabaga musirike mmwe twogera Luzungu mwagala tubuzaabuza. Kale Oluzungu olina okulwetegekera ennyo. Naye kansubire nti abantu banyumiddwa biki bye twogedde, era tusaba abakyalina abaana abato Mukama abasobozese okubakuza obulungi, Mukama abakuume.
Weyanziza nnyo Mwami Vincent Muchibi, era tukusaba nti nno okomewo era n'olulala. Yes, wano ku Euroforum. Tweyanziza nnyo submission yo, tweyanziza amagezi g'otuwadde, era abazadde bonna mwenna abali eyo and abazadde abagenda okubeera, tusuubira nti no muyina kye muyizeemu kimu oba bibiri from Mwami Muchibi's intake. Mwebale nnyo.
Thank you for the opportunity. I wish I would have been like Mr. Muchibi, where I could speak Luganda, but Luganda is not my first language. I'm more of a Musoga. And Orama Musoga, and if I spoke Lusoga, then everybody will be still, because they'll, especially the two, Mr. Mukibi and Madam Samantha, understanding what I'll be talking about. But I'm very appreciative of being the privilege to be able to talk to you guys. And I call upon all of you, especially immigrant parents who are living in Norway. you should not be afraid of the welfare services, social protective services in Norway. It's not harmful. You need to remember that culture is being put ahead in everything. And you should not be afraid to practice your culture as long as it's not against the Norwegian law or it's not against the law, but you should not be afraid to practice it. And in cases whereby it becomes an issue because of that, call upon me, talk to me, and I'll be able to guide you. And not all my guidance is supposed to be paid. Or it's supposed to be paid. I can guide you without you paying a cent, because for me, I believe like a person who has the knowledge and living here in Norway, it has taken a lot of work and a lot of resources to be able to be who I am and to be able to represent you or represent the Norwegian system, and also at the same time to be able to represent immigrants. I'm doing a lot of work in this and I'm still ready to serve you. And you should not again worry about paying me, because whoever is dealing with your case can pay me. So it's not about your pocket. Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope we'll be able to come back again some other time.
Amen. You will definitely be here. You are part of us, and we are more than delighted to have had you here. Thank you for all the wonderful information that you have given, and to all the people out there, all the immigrants in Norway, you heard her. She's actually willing to do that for you guys free of charge. So do not really mind about the bill, just reach out and she'll be there to help. Well, before we sign out, I would like to thank the Euroforum Uganda team, and that includes our host, Smoggy John Remy, all the way in Denmark. And then we have Jorien Nassali in Sweden, Moses Mugisha, Norway. And then on production and TikTok, we have Gibson Omuhumuza. That's quite an interesting name. Gibson Nkutumi Denyo. And then graphics, we have Janat. And then finally, Agakute Muwiki, Uganda. We have Nalumu Irene. I thank you very much, Euroforum team, for the tremendous work that you are doing. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So continue, carry on with your teamwork. And I pray that 2024, we actually come bigger and do better. Before I sign out, I would like to let you know about next Sunday's topic. It will be the unwritten social rules we need to maintain in our lives, and it will be hosted by Smoggy John Remy from Denmark. The topic next Sunday will be the unwritten social rules that we need to maintain in our lives, and it will be hosted by Smoggy John Remy. So stay tuned. Tell a friend to tell a friend. That is our slogan. Remember that, because without you, we are nothing. Thank you very much. I have been Samantha Elf on behalf of Euroforum Uganda, right here in Finland. Before we go off, I just want all the parents out there to have this tongue twister. Give it to your kids, and please remember, in case they pass it or in case they say it the right way, give them a small reward to actually motivate them. It goes, "Otai tied the tie so tied that the tie was tied by a tie could not be untied by a tie." I'll say it again. Otai tied the tie so tied that the tie was tied by a tie could not be untied by a tie. I love you all so much, and may God bless you all. Take care and be blessed. We're out, and I was right here on Euroforum Uganda. Bye. Good evening.
Kulikayo.
Kulikayo nawe, kulikayo.
Presenter webale nnyo webalire Kala Elf.
Kale mwami mukibi nange bwe ntyo nsanyuse nnyo.